Hey, what's up, everybody? It's James, and I hope you fortune cookie lovers out there are doing good. And if you like Oreos, you know how I feel about you. So, I also know how I feel about The Walking Dead. If you don't know that, I love it. I have so many of those pop vinyl figurines, it's ridiculous. And that always makes me think of, I love hearing other people's zombie survival strategies. So if the zombie apocalypse was going to happen to you, please get in contact with us and tell us what your theories are. And watch this episode and you'll find out ours. Guys, you know I love The Walking Dead. I think everyone does. And if they don't, I want them to know that about me now. I'm a deadhead. New definition. Walking Deadhead. What I want to know is, though, not everyone can speak to the show because not everyone's seen it, and that's okay. That's fine. Everyone can choose to live their life how they want. I do want to know what people's zombie survival strategies might be. And I'd like to just set the world for you. These are slow zombies for the most part. Maybe every now and again there's a fast one, but there aren't really different types. Presumably viral. We don't ever really know what caused it. It's just you die, then you turn into one. You get bit, you turn into one. Type deal. Totally iffy on the if you die anyway, you turn into one, but you got to destroy the brain, basic zombie rules. What would be your approach?
Within the first 24 hours?
Sure, yeah. Honestly, we get out of here, we all go our separate ways, and on the way home, realize, this happened. Mm-hmm. So it's on your way home. What do you do?
Oh, okay. And how long has it been going, and what state is it at when we find out?
I think it's it started when we came into this room, so it's been going on for a while. Mass panic's out there, which is how we were sheltered from it. Mm-hmm. So it's been
3 hours.
Yeah, well, let's pad it to 5 or 6 hours. Let's pad it to that.
Okay, quarter of a day.
Yeah. Has been going on without us knowing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they're winning at this point.
My decision would have to be to protect my family.
Right. That's not a bad one.
I'm not saying it's bad. No. I'm just saying it limits my options because I got to get to the house.
Mm-hmm. Right, but is that that might not be everybody's first tactic to protect their family. They might go get weapons first, or do you have stuff at home?
All right, so
could you get in touch with them?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drive home. I'm gonna pack everybody up immediately. We're going to drive to Glen Haven, and in Glen Haven, that's probably a 400, 500, maybe 600 house community, and maybe that's a high number. Could be 300 houses. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people there, but it's not a concentrated, you know what I mean? It's not a ton of people. And his, one of my stepson's dads lives there.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't want to he's young enough to where if he lost his dad in a zombie battle, he'd be devastated. So we'd have to go check out and see if he was there.
Yeah.
Point is, Dad's got lots of tools. He's got lots of, he's got saws and axes. And
so not just a sentimental trip.
Not just a sentiment.
No. So that's obviously important.
We're killing some birds here.
Yeah.
With some stones. Less stones, more birds. And my weapon of choice would be an aluminum baseball bat.
Nice.
And I would I would primarily be a protector unit, meaning I would stand in front of the family at all times and go straight up full on 10 out of 10 black ninja.
Wow.
Yeah. With a baseball bat.
Boop ding ding.
Yeah, nice. I'm talking pirouettes and shit. I'm talking spinning around and ending in a flurry that takes off a head.
Now, I honestly am a little interested on... I'm interested in Nathan and Cecily's story and what they predict would be happening on their way home. Mm-hmm. However, I think that Caleb's might be interesting because he lives so close. Mm-hmm. Caleb, if I may.
Yeah.
I believe that you probably would get home unscathed, and it might be longer before you realize. Not in a bad way, but
Well, yeah, because every night there's people screaming and yelling outside my apartment.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I live downtown.
You don't have a vehicle.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would get home. Let's assume that I know that it's happening by the time I get home. Like,
oh,
I just,
that guy's walking a bit funny.
Yeah, or like, oh, I just saw somebody like bite somebody's head off.
Yeah.
Okay. I would not want to. I would want to spend as little time in my apartment as possible. My apartment's like in the thick of downtown. It's in like the same building as a nightclub. It's right open. You know, people are gonna go loot that place first. So what I would do is I would just put on like the most comfortable athletic wear, spacious movement clothes that I could. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I don't have anything that I could use as a weapon in my apartment. Like, what do I have in my apartment that I could use as a weapon?
I'm glad you were thinking about this the other day.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I think there was, like, I heard, like, this guy be like, what? Right outside my door. And I was like, oh, my God.
Where's a gun?
So I was just like, what do I do? So I think that what I would do is I don't have a place to hang my clothes, so I use a pull-up bar that has hangers attached to it. So I think that the pull-up bar is the closest thing that I have to a weapon in my apartment. At least a zombie fighting weapon. Because I also have like a pair of scissors and a kitchen knife, but those are not going to like do very well in a zombie situation. I'd much rather use a pull-up bar. Yeah, so I'd take my pull-up bar, and I'd have like a bag full of all the essentials that I could carry, like all my canned food and anything like that. And I'd slang it on my back. And then there's this little trailhead, this trail that cuts from downtown to Fairhaven. You familiar with that? Like
The interurban trail.
Yeah, yeah. So what I would do is I would slink along that trail to get to Fairhaven, and I would hopefully not run into any zombies. And if I did, I would try to take them out with my pull-up bar, or just outspeed them. Like, if I'm running away from them while batting stuff away with my pull-up bar, I think that I could make it that far.
And you'd feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
It's a nice open trail too. It's not like a heavily dense wooded one. Like, it's quite wide, which is nice.
There's no lighting.
And that is
very dark.
If I ever do go for a run, that's exactly the trail that I run on. So I know that I can like do it.
So
like,
Caleb, Billy brought up a good point. Is that it's at night and that's not lit. Would you wait till morning?
I would not. I would do it at night. It's lit enough at night, and if not, I would use an app from my phone to light my way. But I would probably just do it in the dark because I have walked it, probably close to like 50 plus times. So I'm very familiar with the layout. And basically I have family members that live in Fairhaven. So what I would do is I would get to Fairhaven and I would convene with as many of the still living family members that I had and see what their deal was. But a lot of my family members are very able-bodied, and I would imagine that those of us that could would form some kind of strike force and start to hustle around and try to get some goods. I would be weird though, like what do you do in the situation where you're with a family member that's like really just not gonna do well, like it becomes tough.
And furthermore, when you come across people, do you include them into this group that you're talking about?
I'm very solitary by nature, and I just don't feel that good about teaming up with any random person unless it's seems like a great idea. I wouldn't see a human and be like, great, we'll survive together. I would, if I thought I had a good shot of surviving in a small group or by myself, then I would much rather do that, even though I'm sure that's a death sentence in most situations. But I'm not the kind of person that would be, like, if I saw some, like, this, like, sweet elderly couple walking along and they were like, what do we do? I wouldn't be like, here, join my team.
Right. You'd be like...
I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
F off, oldies.
Would you take their stuff?
I would not.
Yeah, see, that's good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't invite them in, but you wouldn't, like, rob them either.
Yeah. The crime that it would be the crime of not reaching out.
Right. Would you keep tabs on them to go get their stuff after they died?
Oh, that's pretty smart. I probably wouldn't. I would probably, for the first amount of time, I'd probably be so focused on other things. That would be like something that I would develop eventually when I had like a big plan.
Yeah.
To,
You
like,
also
scout.
brought up something cool about the idea of other people being bad, like that your place would be looted first.
Yeah.
Not the idea of like, oh, you're downtown, so a lot of people, a lot of zombies. No, there's also a lot of survivors too. You got to look out for.
Yeah. So yeah, I would want to get out of my apartment as quick as possible. I think being in any house or any apartment would be a pretty bad idea. So that's me.
So the thing is, we find out like at work or something.
No, it's like after this, you on your bike ride home. Before you get home, you and Nathan realize, like, those guys look a bit sick. Like, they're eating other people. That's odd. I haven't seen that before.
Okay, so here's what I would do: go to the apartment, pack up weasels and whatever non-perishable foods that I have.
You're gonna eat the weasels?
No.
Oh.
But I'm gonna pack them up because I'm not just gonna leave them.
No, I know, obviously, yes.
And you know, blankets and such, because I feel like that'll be important. And then my plan would be to come back here, because it's a key card entry building. Go up to the roof and just park it there, because if they're gonna send a search and rescue, they're gonna be looking in the highly populated downtown areas, I think, first.
Also, on the roof is good too, because in the Walking Dead, at least the TV show, there's the idea of government action, like, and they napalm the streets. And so it's like, definitely don't, you know, obviously that's not a certainty in this scenario, but like the idea of, like, you know, you'd probably be better off up there.
Yeah. There's this. Yeah, I would think that you could like set up shop in a little like lounge chair right at the edge, and if zombies did come at you, you just let them come at you, and then you just kick your feet up and like over the back, like every time. You know, you grab hands and then you just their body goes over. It's like 6 stories. They're not gonna survive.
And also one other bonus factor of here would be, if the building remains secure, you could come down and check the news on the internet and try to communicate with people. And there's a bathroom here. It's just all around.
JJ's is not too far away.
No.
That's gonna be a prime looting spot.
That is the.
Everything will be gone.
Honestly, something scary too is that now, like, with the idea of society probably breaking down pretty quickly, is that there's a lot of other people who live downtown who don't actually live downtown, who are now also vying for supplies and stuff, and now have permission to, you know, like homeless people. Like, there's a lot of those around here. Ooh, maybe cut that bit out.
It's true though. They've already seen Stab Alley.
Yes, they have seen Stab Alley.
But
Stab Alley.
that's pretty much my plan. I don't really have anything I could use as a weapon at home, except for maybe like
A weasel.
a can, like a bottle of sriracha. But I don't think that's gonna do anything.
I'm probably sensitive to it.
Then you gotta come over here, James, and I think.
Man, I'm like still in combat. I think I might relog really quick, but without ending my recording. Just get to the character select screen and then re-enter the world.
Alright.
Oh, I can't log out.
Mine is this. It'll be very quick. So Jaegers.
Oh.
I'm assuming they would stay open.
So are you imagining that this is a plan in conjunction with Cecily's, or a completely different one?
Oh yeah, in conjunction.
Gotcha.
I'm not in a hurry to split.
No, I mean, like, you know, like, do you agree with what she's got so far? You just are running to Jaegers as well.
Yeah, it would be an extension and an incorporation. Gotcha. The two would blend on the fly.
Boom, boom.
So most of my family is up here in town. So after we have the weasels, then we have a car, or maybe a van, and we're all supplied up with the family up here. Then we'll travel on down to Federal Way and start to round up as much of her family as we can. And
that's where Jane was born.
After
I found that out tonight.
We are just gonna go from there, see what they want to do, you know, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
I honestly think for me, I would hunker down. My apartment's downtown too, but not like central downtown. It's like close, and it's a gated community. And I think it would actually not be. It doesn't look like a prime spot for early looters, I don't think. So I'd honestly maybe wait a couple days, maybe, just inside my apartment, because I have enough food that like lasts a couple days.
And you think if anybody like broke in, you'd be able to just handle that?
I think so. Not necessarily like, you know, like I would come out and totally okay. Like, you know, very confidently. Like, I really hope nobody breaks in. But, like, you know, I try to communicate with them and get them to leave and let me do my thing and they do theirs. And if they disagree, well, we'll figure that out. But, I'd also try to get familiar with zombies and, like, get familiar with their behavior in those couple days. And then see if I can handle myself with them. See what my favorite weapon would be. I have some options. At home. And then, yeah, then I would have, hopefully I would have got in touch with my sister prior to that, actually. Probably my first move would be to see what Amy's doing, make sure Amy's okay, because she's very family in town. And if I can reach out to my parents, make sure they're going to hunker down before we go and try and meet up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And help people along the way, that's fun.
I'm curious if any of you, what you would do if you were with your family and there was just a huge disagreement that you knew that you, like, did not agree with at all. Like, is there a situation that would cause you to abandon your family?
If they decided to just totally give up,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say no.
They tried to kill me, which is unlikely, but I feel like I could turn on my family if it's kill or be killed.
Because I think if you just want to call it a day and, you know, let the zombies get you, I'd be like, well, I'm not going to sit there and watch that, so...
There's a few of my friends I used to work with and stuff who said, like, oh, if that happened, I'd just give up. Like, what? What kind of survival instinct's that? If something bad happens, oh, just take me now.
Yeah, for sure.
It might save you some
Twitter.
horrible images that you could never, ever get out of your head.